live on YouTube and also on Twitch. So you can like and subscribe us and get involved and all that kind of thing. There are links on the YouTube channel. I put a comment up earlier if you want to get involved with the show. It'd be great to have as many Spurs fans on as we can to talk all things Tottenham. Yes, here we are once again. As we said, we're going live on YouTube currently. Please like, subscribe and all that kind of thing. We've also got a Facebook page, so have a little search for When the Cockerel Crows and get involved with the debate. It's never boring supporting Tottenham, is it? So the diabolical performance last week against Fulham. All the outbursts from that going into Vicario, Thomas Frank taking pouters left, right and centre. Porro's little stomp off the pitch, stomp back on the pitch. He had a little thing with a fan and it was all kind of kicking off last week, wasn't it? And then we went up to Newcastle, the game where none of us were expecting anything from it. And we come away with a 2-2 draw. Romero stepped up with a Pele-like bicycle kick, which came off his kind of knee or shin or whatever it came off. But ultimately, it ended up in the bottom corner. Ramsdale was still flapping, still looking for it now, and we came back down to London with a 2-2 draw. So very, very pleased to say that I'm joined by Jamie. So Jamie's here once again. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, my man. You?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Not too bad. Just for a little bit of a background, Jamie is very heavily involved with Colonel Spurs, so the Cornwall Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Club. How you doing?
Just life in general, or Spurs related, or what? I mean, I'm more inclined to talk about my life as opposed to Spurs because it's just so fucking depressing.
You would do that. You got much going on in your life?
Did the Christmas shop today with the missus.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was wet.
Yeah,
that was fun.
So, what about Tottenham then? So, how's it been? It's never boring supporting Tottenham, is it? A nice, uneventful week again.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm honest. I'm indifferent at the minute.
Yeah,
kind of just a bit. I'm not invested as a fan at the minute. No, and that's kind of the minimum you expect as being a fan. What about you? Where are you?
I'm kind of, well, are you a quick one? Are you Frank in or out?
In at the moment.
Yeah, I'm very much in. I think if you mean I could talk for hours about this, and I have done, but Arsenal gave us the right lesson the other week, didn't they? Arteta's 6 years ahead of us in his project, and quite a few £1 million ahead of us in his project as well. You see the money that they spent this summer, we're years off of that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't want to keep going back to that as being a barometer for kind of how we are as fans in the club at the minute. But I can't help think back to the game under Conte. Was it the Monday night? I think it was, wasn't it? And we beat them 3-0 and just absolutely battered them. And that wasn't a million years ago, was it? Do you know what I mean? That was 3 seasons ago, maybe. Mm-hmm. And you see where we are now. It's almost like it's gone full circle, isn't it? I don't know whether it's recruitment, whether it's management, whether it's the whole package, whether it's just Spurs being Spurs. I don't know, but we're kind of all over the shop, really, aren't we?
We are, yeah. I look around at a lot of these clubs, and yes, a lot of clubs are investing in youth, and we have been recently, but they also back it up with proven, known Premier League players or winners, serial winners.
Yeah.
And at the minute, I look through that club. That squad, and I don't see many leaders.
No.
Even Romero on occasions can go missing.
Yeah.
And then after him, I don't know who the vice captain is, Madders, and then maybe Van der Ven or Davies or one of them.
I think so. Yeah, I think Van der Ven was captain the other day, wasn't he? Against for the one that Romero was suspended.
Yeah.
Fulham game, wasn't it? Was it Fulham? Yeah.
So yeah, that's. I just think we lack. You look through all the big teams, and they've got in central midfield, they've got an absolute machine in there. You've got Rice for Arsenal doing bits, you've got Caicedo for Chelsea, you've got Rodri and etc. for City. Liverpool maybe not so at the minute, but they're struggling as well. So a lack of leaders and a lack of leadership in general, I think, not
Yeah.
just on the pitch but off it as well.
So off the pitch, what do you think? That's Thomas Frank, or do you think that's above him, or what? A combination of both? Or so when you say leaders, do you actually mean the team, or are you talking about the club?
But both, I think. I
Yeah.
think on the pitch, I'm not seeing a great deal of leadership on there,
No.
and off, I just don't think Frank has instilled any sort of authority yet.
No.
He hasn't. He came in with a lot of positive momentum from Brentford, and you look around various other clubs, they were like, oh, that's a good signing as a manager. He's got Premier League proven results for Brentford.
Yeah.
And he was seen as a pragmatic manager who could deliver us both defence and attack. And he's not really doing that yet. And my worry is that if he doesn't start turning results around soon, he won't have the opportunity to.
No. Yeah.
Maybe he's not the right man, but it's in my opinion, it's too early to tell.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I know we spoke a couple of weeks ago about it, and you've got someone like you say, he's pragmatic as a manager and kind of builds from the back and prides himself on that. And he always talks about the phases, doesn't he? Or like the build up and priding himself on a strong defence. But ultimately, we're shipping goals all the time, aren't we? You mean 2 against Newcastle, 2 against Fulham, 5 against PSG, 4 a couple of days ago before that against Arsenal. That's a lot of goals to ship with arguably our strongest back four, because really we're not missing anyone across the back 4 or 5 if you include the keeper, are we?
No, but I just don't think he's settled on a back 5, if you like. I mean,
what do you think his strongest? What do you think is? You mean, forget what Frank thinks. What do you think our strongest back 3, 4, 5, whatever you want to?
Well, I mean, obviously, I think Vicario is our number 1.
Yeah.
Presently, Kinski's not there.
No.
And then after that, I think you're looking at I can't remember his name now. It's not Archer, is it? He might have gone already. But but we haven't got a great deal of depth back there. Brandon Austin, yeah. And then obviously the 2 centre-back pairings, you've got Romero and Van der Ven.
Yeah.
And then Udogie and Spence, probably. I think I prefer Spence over Porro.
Yeah. So Spence on the right side rather than playing left.
Yeah. I think when he goes on the left, he's not as good as on the right, I think.
No.
I think that's the strongest on paper, but like you said, we are shipping goals, and is that down to a lack of leadership, a lack of let's take care of these clean sheets, let's stop shipping these goals,
Yeah.
They kind of just seem a bit, oh, that's another one gone in, What about you?
I would. No, I would. Yeah, I think you're probably right. With what we've got, is that back 4 with Udogie left, Spence right, Vicario in goal, obviously, and Van der Ven and Romero centre half. So I don't think we're going to shift too far from that over the next 18 months, really. I don't think we're going to see any of those players leave. Maybe Vicario potentially. But it was interesting that I saw a fact today. I don't know if you saw it or not, but Porro is the is the 3rd highest player that has been dribbled past in the Premier League this season. Apparently,
it doesn't surprise me, no, because his shape defensively isn't good enough. He's, he'll whip in a good couple of balls maybe every other game.
Yeah.
But it's his defensive mindset which isn't good enough, in my opinion.
No, and I don't think he's really doing enough going the other way, neither is he?
No, not at the minute. He does have a good delivery on him.
Yeah.
But whether it's a lack of confidence or what, but he's not there for me at the minute.
No. So can you see? I know there has been rumours of both Milan sides kind of been sniffing around Vicario. Do you reckon that's a realistic? Not necessarily to Milan, but can we see Vicario leave potentially January or the end of the season?
I think it depends on how much he's valued by not just the club, by the fans as well. If he doesn't see a future here, then why would he? If he's getting booed every game, you wouldn't stay there.
No.
But I think he's a good shot stopper.
Yeah.
He's one of the better shot stoppers I think we've had. But his decision making and his distribution isn't what we need it to be. It's no different to Hugo, in my opinion. I don't think we've necessarily improved significantly in that respect.
Yeah, it's almost like when he gets time to think about it, isn't it? When he's when he's got time to make a decision, he invariably kind of. I think I'm not making excuses for him or trying to dig him out of it, but I feel that one against Fulham because we were under pressure and we need to make things happen, especially at home. I think he kind of took it upon himself and tried to play the ball up the wing rather than, do you know, trying to make something happen rather than just into the old Rose Ed and getting back on your line and keeping it tight. I think he's, there was a bit of leadership there, really, which kind of backfired. But
I think it was misguided leadership. I think the sensible decision was to regroup.
Yeah.
We weren't necessarily playing well. We didn't look great going forward. We didn't look like we were cutting them open and creating a load of chances. If we were, then fair enough. Let's get the ball up and let's try and continue that momentum.
Yeah.
But right now, at that point, we were kind of backs to the wall kind of stuff again. So let's get it out. Let's regroup and let's not do anything silly.
No.
It's also, I think, a lack of ownership. I think is what the boos stemmed from. He booted the ball out. He booted the ball up. It came back really quickly, and he was like arms in the air, shouting at the defenders in front of him. Like, I don't think they can account for that, really.
No, that one's very much on him, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you think? I know it's hindsight and things like that, and I don't think he's going to change it mid-season. But do you think Romero being captain was a good choice looking back? Or?
I think he was the only choice.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's on his day. He's a really, really good defender and a really strong character. And I think on his day, I would want him on my team against opposition as opposed to coming up against him.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just this season or if it's just me. He's having more sub fives than he is above fives.
Yeah.
In terms of performance ratings. Yeah, I can't. If you look through that squad, I mean, who else are you going to choose? I mean, Madders has got a good personality. Van der Ven is a very good defender. Davies has been there for a while. Vicario is very shouty, but he makes a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Who's the next choice, really?
I think the role of captain has kind of evolved, isn't it? These kind of Steven Gerrard's, Vieiras, Roy Keane, people like that, John Terry. Well, Kane, those ones that kind of grab older players and kind of rally the troops.
Yeah. Well, Kane wasn't that, but he was a lead by example captain.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've got anybody like that.
No, I saw like I didn't. To be honest, I didn't see the Newcastle game. I've seen the extended highlights. I was on a late shift, so I was working. But I saw the interview with Romero after, and he's very kind of like touching his face, looking down, and his English wasn't great. And you think, well, how much influence does he actually have over that team? And it probably is that leading by example, isn't it? Rather than
I think so. Yeah, he's also quite. He seems to be quite vocal on the pitch, and I think there's one universal language when it comes to footballers on the pitch. So I don't see that being a too much of a disadvantage.
No. Did you?
He scored the goals, obviously. I did watch the game. Yeah. I spent a lot of it frustrated. Because we were frustrating to watch, as we have been a lot of the games this season. It's been very defensive mindset-y. And we really looked toothless in the final third. I mean, I said it last time, and I'll say it again. We're going forward. We don't appear to have anything at all.
No. Okay. What I'll do is we've got Kerry just waiting by. We'll bring Kerry in as well, and see if Kerry. Hi, Kerry.
Hi, Kerry.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, isn't it? You keeping all right?
Yeah. Not as tired as last week.
No. Did you? Yeah, I don't know if you heard what we were talking about there, but we were just moving on to the Newcastle game. Did you watch the game?
I did, yes, and similar to what Jamie said, really, the first half was just awful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He just changes his formations so much, and they just look like they haven't got a clue what they're doing anymore. Because with Ange, it was like, what was he, 2 years of solid, you're going to play this one way, and that's it, stick to that. You don't have to think about anything. And now Frank's like there pointing with all these little magnets on his board and everything to them. They must just not have a clue what they're doing, I think.
Yeah, do you think that's what a lot of it is?
We've absolutely got nothing there, have we? Apart from Danso's throw, long throw-ins and hope.
So I like the flexibility that Frank brings in terms of the ability to go with different formations.
Yeah,
I think perhaps he's changed.
Frank's a great technician, you know, he'll be able to sort this and do in-game management and all that. But it just seems like they're throwing all the rest of the subs on, sort of towards the end. To me, it's like use up all 5 subs and just see what we can do with it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Paul? I mean, do you think Ange's inability to change or unwillingness to change, and Frank's changing too much? We need somebody in the middle. What?
Well, potentially,
medium, don't we?
Yeah, I think if you've got someone like Postecoglou and he doesn't change his tactics or style of play at all, every player knows from minute 1 to minute 95 what's going on, don't they? They know exactly what's expected of them or what role is supposed to be playing, and etc. etc. I think if you're chopping and changing too much, I think like you said there, Jamie, there has to be a kind of a happy medium, doesn't there? Something it's right having that flexibility, but how much really can you change by trying to change it mid-game? Because you've obviously gone into the game with a plan. Obviously, a lot of these plans kind of go out the window if you can see the first 3 or 4 minutes, or someone gets sent off, or there's an injury or something like that. There has to be a contingency. But I think there's maybe a lot of value in kind of criticising Frank for overcomplicating it and trying to be a little bit too clever. I don't know. Is it
Frank is any good at his half-time talks? Because you don't seem to see much change when they come on. They don't seem vamped up or anything.
I was very surprised that there were no changes at halftime at Newcastle. If you looked at the group chat, it was like it was very evident that we needed to make some changes. And I understand there are occasions where you go into halftime and you say, right, you've got 10 minutes to change my mind to not sub you. But I don't think that was that game. I mean, 71 minutes was the first goal was scored by Newcastle. And up until that point, and even after that, we didn't look very threatening at all. Yeah.
I'm just sort of, I find myself swiping on my phone mostly now when I'm watching them, you know, just seeing what the other comments are and just not really taking it in.
No. If we I'll bring up some let's have a look. So if we bring up some stats from Newcastle, so what, 8 shots on goal to their 19, just the 2 on target for us, which were obviously the 2 goals we scored. 1 shot off target for us, 5 for them, 5 shots inside the box to them, 0 for us.
I mean, how many times are our defenders getting goals for us now? There's just nothing up front. They're not, you know, they should be scoring headers, surely, the forwards, but they're not even doing that. So
I think the Newcastle game on Tuesday, for the first half, we never had a shot on target, which was for the 6th game in a row.
Yeah, we were nearly on 0.0 XG again, wasn't it? It's like seeing how many strings we can do.
I believe it was something like 0.07 or something for Tuesday, which is shocking, isn't it?
But they've got, I don't know what you can do. I mean, you've got pacey wingers in Audebert. You've got Kudos, who started the season really quite menacing. He was running at his defenders and taking them on. I think he seems to have stopped that now. You've got Richie, who used to run round a lot more than he does. He was a very big presser. I don't feel like he's that anymore, whether his legs are gone or whether it's Frank's style of play change. I don't know. But yeah, that sort of that midfield to final third, there's just something not quite there at the minute. I don't know. But look at the passes as well. You know, we always got less possession. Our passes are always less, and the completion percentage is always less as well.
Well, 3 balls 0. I mean, that's crying out for someone like Kulusevski and Maddison, isn't it?
Yeah. Touches inside the shocking, isn't it?
We just seem to be at the bottom of all of these stats, don't we? It's but it's not just the Newcastle game. It's a common theme. It's Fulham. It's PSG. I mean, PSG we're going to be struggling, but it seems to be every game, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely, yeah. And you know, I don't know what he's going to do to change it.
No.
What do you do?
Well, that's
put more in the midfield. What do you do?
When is Decky even due back? Do we even know?
Who's this? Sorry.
When is Decky due back? Do we know?
This was going to move me on to a question in a second. So there was a press conference today from Thomas Frank, or yesterday, and he was asked any updates on Kulusevski and Solanke, and his direct quote was, No, I said it. I'm happy. I think 10 days ago, I got a question. When they are ready to really be close to be involved in the squad, then I'll give more information. And that was it. I think
Doesn't sound like he's back tomorrow then, does it?
no.
Oh.
But Kulusevski, I think Postecoglou said it was just a knock and he should be right in a week, didn't he? And
yeah,
5 months.
Yeah, well, Solanke was similar, wasn't he?
Yeah,
You know, he was playing and then all of a sudden he was having ankle surgery.
Yeah.
It seems to be a curse.
Is this down to our medical staff? Is this down to bad luck? Is it just Tottenham being Tottenham, or is something? Do you think something's fundamentally wrong? Because it's not just one player, is it? This is a regular theme where players are out long term.
He's changed all the medical staff as well, didn't he? That was one of the things he made a point of doing because he thought. So this is yet another lot of injuries now. I mean, he's never injured when he played for Bournemouth.
These are club assets. So these players are assets to the club, and they're worth a lot of money, not just in wages, but in like resale value and sponsorship value and all that kind of stuff. I genuinely couldn't believe that the club would be in any way negligent in terms of who they're appointing for their medical team, the equipment that they're using to support them and treat them and that kind of stuff. I couldn't believe that it would be anything like a lack of resource or ability. It must just be luck. It's bad luck, but it must be luck. It's all I can think of.
Yeah, it just seems to go on, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? We and it's, you mean Madison? I think the Madison one was during a game, wasn't it? And
pre-season, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
pre-season friendly. Yeah,
did he just come on and then he went off like shortly after? But
I think it was Son's last game. I think it was.
Was it? Was it that game?
I think it was that friendly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what you mean. You're right. You mean these are massive organisations and you mean multi-billion-pound assets that they've got just sat in the treatment room that they can't get out. So they would be spending even top money on these kind of facilities and staff. But I don't know. So where do we if we
just on the injuries thing, I think I heard something recently where somebody made an interesting point, because it was, say, the likes of Man City have got a massive depth of squad. So the players that their team are training against are more experienced. So in theory, when they're in training sessions, they're not possibly getting as many dodgy tackles as maybe our more inexperienced depth of squad might be, if they're paired up. I don't know. Just put some straws. Is that what happens? Do our full team squad, do they play the lesser experience? How does it work with our training sessions?
I think it all depends, doesn't it, on the game? It depends on what the session they're running. If they're running like a shape session for like the weekend, they would have what they would consider the starting 11 for. So just say for tomorrow. Today they might have done a shape session. That's easy to say, where they would get the players in a formation and kind of almost shadow play, where there's very limited. Very, very little contact. The day before a game. A lot of it would kind of be just running through that. Then it would have like a tactical breakdown session and things like that. But it's normally 2 day. If you're playing Saturday to Saturday, for example, it's normally like the Monday or Tuesday where the intensity would go up. And I don't know. Is it players that aren't playing that know they're not going to play? Are they, flying into tackles, or how are these injuries being caused? I don't know.
Maybe they're being like over enthusiastic in their training. Some of them might be just to try and.
At least they're doing it somewhere.
Well, on the pitch on a Saturday, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah. On another thing, I saw that Yves Bissouma has cancelled all these Instagram things relating to Spurs or something.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. So
nice to see if
it wouldn't surprise me. I think he's been on the out list since his last incident of many. So I wouldn't surprise. I don't think Frank sees him in the first team squad.
No,
and just on that training thing as well. I think, I don't know for definite because I'm not involved in one, but I think most Premier League clubs have a first team squad.
Yeah,
it could be I think it's 23, maybe a 23-man squad. And typically, unless they're doing a big cardio session or something like that, you would only necessarily train with your first team squad. So yes, there might be some youth players or some lesser experienced players in that squad just for for quotas, for example.
Mm.
But I think if there was any instances of these young lads going in too hard on the first teamers, I think they would probably be outed pretty quickly. Would be my assumption on that.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe it's just then the other teams just have got it in for us, like what's his name out of West Ham that always crocs one of us, isn't it?
Oh, that's Sushek.
Now. Sorry?
Sushek, is it? He likes to tackle, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could have just be something as simple as squad depth and squad rotation. I don't know. You know, were we overutilizing them, and did Ange's style of play cause many of it? I don't know.
Well, that's what I was going to say, wasn't it? Like with his hamstrings and...
Yeah, I was going to ask that. What did you think to that? Because I thought, oh heck.
Well, I think that was down, like Jamie said there, it was style of play, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's making so many kind of bursting runs from the halfway line back to his own goal. It's not going to be great on the hammies, is it?
Yeah. Did you agree that he should have been left out of that Newcastle game then?
Well, it's like Frank said, isn't it? You got to pick and choose. I don't think that was the game to leave him out. I think maybe leave him out.
No, I didn't. I was surprised.
Yeah. But I don't know. They talk about this red zone, don't they? I mean, Arsene Wenger brought it in where once they monitor players' heart rates and things, and when their fitness or their kind of their performance kind of drops into a red zone, that's when they're more susceptible to injury. So that's when they rest them and leave them out and things like that. But ultimately, I think like Steve Perriman said a few weeks ago, isn't it? A player knows when they're fit. Do you know what I mean? Just ask the player. If the player says, "Yeah, I'm all right to play," I mean that carries a lot more weight than what a piece of data says. But I don't know.
Yeah, but you think the likes of Bergvall, he'd have been straight out there again, wouldn't he?
Well, I think head injuries are probably a little bit different, aren't they? But so just looking back at the Newcastle game, we just finished that one up. Are you both happy with the point where you were taking a point before the game?
I think we were well chuffed with the point at the end of it. Yeah. It felt like a bit of a win, apart from the stupid penalty, of course, because it should have been a win, shouldn't it?
Do you think it just stick with that for a minute? Then do you think it was a penalty?
No.
For what reason?
Kerry, do you want to go first?
Well, I saw in the background Gordon was flipping backing into Vicario anyway, so it would have been cancelled out because of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Botman or whatever he's called is like nearly twice the height of poor Bentancur, so he had him in a blooming grip lock, didn't he?
Yeah.
So no way. But we always seem to get stuffed with decisions like that, don't we? Really?
Yeah. What do you think, Jay?
I think that particular style of defending on set pieces and corners happens in every single football match at all levels.
Yeah.
And if they now want to start calling that a foul, it has to be everywhere on the pitch, and it has to be every single game, every single week.
Yeah.
What they do frequently, and yes, it might be sour grapes because it's Spurs, and we do seem to get a fair share of these sorts of decisions. But just have some consistency. It's either a foul or a not, and it's a foul. If it's a foul, it's every single time. I mean, I was watching the game. It might have been last night. Man United, West Ham. The same thing was happening. They get a talking to. They say no more. It happens again, and the play goes on.
Yeah.
And like once every other week, they might pick and choose an incident. Oh, that's a penalty this time. But it's the decision was annoying. But what's more annoying is that I know that over the weekend, every single game will have that exact same challenge, and it won't happen in those games.
Yeah. It was interesting on Sky. They had the ref watch with Dermot Gallagher, and to be fair to him, he's normally pretty spot. He doesn't like just always side with the referees, but he said it was a penalty. He looked at it several times. He said it was. He said basically because Bentancur's got his back to the corner taker, and it's got no. Once you do that, then you're putting yourself into that position where you're not defending the ball. You're starting to defend the man. And once you start defending the man, that's when you start looking at penalties and free kicks.
Fine. If it's a pen, I haven't got a problem with it. But just make sure it's a penalty every single time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's what we wanted with VAR is you want that consistency of where you get given it on a Tuesday, get given it on a Saturday, and you know full well it's going to happen tomorrow's game. You watch the Tottenham Brentford game or whichever games are on. exactly the same situation will happen and nothing will come of it. And that's the frustrating thing. It's when you get it, you're happy. When it's against you, it's you kind of dwell on it, don't we? And
yeah,
make the
I mean that's not the reason we got a draw, or we could have lost. We offered very little in that game, and the fact that we came away from a draw with an absolute worldie from Romero off his shin was just luck rather than planned or anything like that.
It took an age to cross the line, didn't it? It was like
Ramsdale springing like a bloody salmon.
You went down in about 5 stages, didn't you? Just step across and catch that one, but yeah, it's always
we'll take it.
Pele-esque.
Yes, I heard you call it Pele-esque. I wouldn't quite go that far, but
South American anyway. All right, well, so we'll move on to Brentford. So Brentford tomorrow, 3:00 kickoff on a Saturday.
It's very unusual.
Look at that, bit of a novelty, isn't it? So if we look at
watch that now.
Sorry, yeah.
There's definitely some very legal ways of doing it. Don't worry.
If you look at the last 5 games for both teams, there's a lot of red on there, especially on our side. So Newcastle obviously 2-2, losing 2-1 against Fulham. We know all our results. Let's look at Brentford. So losing 2-0 away to Crystal Palace. Well, a lot of teams are going to go there and come up short, aren't they? Beating Newcastle 3-1 at home, Brighton away, Arsenal away. So their away form, they've lost the last 3, going by that out of 5.
Yeah, but we can't win at home, mate.
We can't win. I'm trying to
sorry, mate. Sorry, bud.
I'm trying.
Are we at home, are we, as well?
We are, yeah. The dreaded home, Kerry. So we look at like the league so far. We're 11th, they're 13th. 5 wins to their 6. They've actually won more games. We've drawn 4. They've lost 7. We've lost 5. So yeah, I don't know. 23 goals to their 21. Average goals per match 2 each. Average goals conceded 2-1. XG of 12 so far to their 21.
What's the XG per 90 behind you there?
That's it.
For Brentford?
No, I can't bring it up.
All right.
No, I'll have to get rid of you to see it. We want to do that, would we? So, what do you think of the? So, do you fancy it tomorrow, or?
Well, before every game, I fancy it. I fancy Spurs to do something.
Yeah.
And I was looking at our record against Brentford, and I think we've won 5 to their 1. I think. So on paper, hopefully it's a win, but it's not played on paper. And I think Brentford are surprising a few people. I think they're doing better post Frank and Mbuemo and whoever else left. Then I think Then I think people thought they would.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very physical, and it's not going to be a gimme by any stretch. No. So, do I think we will win? Yeah, why not? Is that convincing?
Well, it kind of is. Is it one of the games where, Jimmy, the home form we've got, the form we've been on recently, is it one of those games that if you could pick a home game, would Brentford be in the mix for that or not?
No.
Would you rather us play in a Chelsea or an Arsenal or?
No. I'd rather us play Burnley, Exeter, Plymouth.
Can we play Tottenham?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whenever someone needs a win, they play Tottenham. So it'd be nice if we could play Tottenham tomorrow, wouldn't it?
I would love to say, give us Arsenal instead. Yeah. And we'll take it to them. But we've just played them, and we let them walk all over us. So I think we need a confidence builder. And the problem is that Brentford could have been a confidence builder, but going on our form and our performances so far, if anything, if we don't get a win, it could go completely the other way, and it could get really toxic.
Yeah, I thought Fulham was going to be our confidence builder, but what do you think, Kerry? What's your kind of thoughts on the game tomorrow?
Well, under Frank, I used to quite like watching Brentford. You know, when you saw the fixtures come up, you thought, oh yeah, Brentford, give it a good go and everything. So, well, now we've turned into Brentford, sort of, haven't we?
Without giving it a go bit.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the calibre of players, because we've got like slightly what you'd call, well, we have got better players, haven't we, than Brentford, but Brentford would like run through brick walls for Frank, wouldn't they? Whereas ours won't, by the look of it.
No.
So my worry is that the crowd is going to get on their backs straight away as soon as anything goes wrong, and the players just don't look like they've got any confidence at the minute if that happens, and it just seems like it's toxic in there at the minute.
Yeah,
that's my worry. But if we start off well, say get a really early goal somehow with a Danso long throw or something.
A Danso long throw to a Romero overhead kick again, please.
Yeah, then we're laughing, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just picking up on something you said there, Kerry. You said that the Brentford players ran through brick walls to try and get results, and they did. They were a team in a lot of aspects.
Yeah, they were.
Do you think that Frank can achieve that at Spurs? Is it the type of player he's got? Do they all think they're too big for him? They're too big for the club?
I don't know. I'd like to think, because they seem, when you watch all the social media bits, they all seem like decent players, Spurs players, don't they? Which is what I've always liked about our club. We've never had any sort of bad apples and stuff that I'd call. So you would like to think that they would run through brick walls, but I'm not sure they would go that far. But I just think they're confused with all this changing of tactics and everything. I think maybe have we got the talented enough players to carry out what Frank wants them to do? But surely we have, if Brentford did have.
Yeah. Is it no coincidence that it's a significant number of managers that haven't been able to get the best out of these players? Are we recruiting badly?
Well, I don't know, but it's a complete change of players, isn't it, again now?
Yeah.
So,
Paul?
I don't know, mate. I always think we tend to go for who's fashionable and who we think is the next one coming through. And I hark back to it. I've mentioned it before, but like someone like Ndombele, we got a whiff that Barcelona are interested in him, and we come in, pay ridiculous money for a player that we didn't really know much about, and we thought we had a bit of a coup, didn't we? And we always tend to go for that kind of player. I don't know how much due diligence goes into who we sign and what. There used to be I remember on TalkSport they had a scout on there. This was a few years ago now, and he said there was always a running joke amongst scouts that a scout would talk to another scout and say, "You would not believe what I saw yesterday." And they were like, "Who is it? Who is it? What player? What player?" And this I said, "No, I saw a Tottenham scout at a match." And and apparently we just did not, like as standard, we did not go out and watch players. It was typically David Pleaton that went out and watched players and recommended them. And the Tottenham scouting system just was non-existent. I'm assuming and hoping that structure has kind of changed. But I don't know. What do we look for? We always seem a bit scattergun, don't we? I mean, leaving it till last minute in the transfer windows and things like that. And you start to think, all right, you can get your bargains towards the end of the window, but how much is that Levy trying to get a bargain last minute? Or how much is it that we don't really have a plan? And we're just waiting until the last couple of days of a window and seeing who's around, seeing who we could potentially get. And whether it's us going for the players or whether it's agents of the players offering him to the club and saying, look, he's available, you can get him for this much. Do you want to take him? I don't know. I don't know. The market we're in is for young lads, isn't it?
We're always going for the next best thing as a young starlet, aren't we? Like, because is Takai nearly coming back as well? I think I saw.
He played 45 in a friendly on Wednesday, I think it was, against Dagenham. So Dagenham played as well.
Because he's supposed to be one of the best and brightest, isn't he? Bergval, which looks like he's working out.
Yeah, we'll get it right.
Ray again, he's looking, but they need some more experienced players now to go in, which, to be fair, is what Ange said he was ready to do, didn't he?
Yeah. It's difficult because
we just don't give managers enough of a chance to build their squad before.
Well, that's the problem. You sign young players, you put them in the side, but it takes a while for them to develop and realise their potential. But is that manager going to stick with them through that transition? Because they know for a while that if they don't get results, they're gone. So it's like with our younger lads in the youth team, like Williams Burnett and people like that. They're saying he's hell of a talent, and his stats, and you see like the goals and things like this. But is Frank in a position job-wise, where he can start including him in games, because we're certainly not. It's not as if we're beating teams 4 or 5-0 and you can give them 20 minutes at the end of each Premier League game and bleed him in that way. So he's not coming into a good environment, is he? So for as long as we're playing as poorly as we are and the results aren't going the way we want them to, he's not going to get a look in, is he?
It's a valid point, yeah.
It's a difficult one, and I think that's why people like Archie Gray hasn't played as much, because he's a centre midfielder. But you've got senior players like Polina and people like that who are sitting around and that are going to play ahead of him because they're experienced, they're used to handling the good, the bad, the ugly with football. When Archie Gray, maybe his career has been on that trajectory, isn't it? When he was playing for Leeds, they got promoted. He was amongst that side the year before. So all of his career has been good. And Bergvall as well. He's a young lad. He hasn't dealt with that adversity, has he? Albeit last season, I think he got.
I think he dealt with it pretty well last season. I think him and Gray both shone quite well given the circumstances.
Yeah.
They link up really well, them two, don't they? I think.
Well, he did, but Gray didn't have any. Like last season, he was right back, left back, centre half. Do you know what I mean? I think he was knocking on Navarro's door at one point. Navarro's gloves. He kind of played everywhere, but we all know that his position is ultimately going to be centre midfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Polina, you think, right, he comes in, he's got to be playing every week, but he's been left out in the last few weeks. He's been on and off, isn't he? So I don't know.
I don't think Frank knows his best 11 yet. I think he's still at the information gathering stage. I just don't, because a player can have a really good performance one week and then he thinks, right, let's see if you can cement this place now. This is yours. Next game, he could have an absolute shocker.
Archie Gray is case in point again, isn't he? He played really well.
But Bergvall as well. Bergvall can have an absolute blinder of a game. Yeah. You think, right, he's the boy in midfield now. Yeah. And then he does silly things like give the ball away, etc. So yeah,
but that was their opportunity, wasn't it? They came in against PSG, both played really well. They had their chance. Bergvall came in against Fulham. I think Gray was on the bench, wasn't he? I think, am I right in that? And the performance was poor, and it didn't really. Do you know what I mean? If they come in and they start playing well again, and we get a good positive result, you can keep their place in the side and you go on from there. But it's almost like a sliding doors moment, isn't it? But I just don't think. I don't know. It's very difficult for a young lad to come into a struggling side and kind of put your marker down.
They need the consistency as well to sort of just get a grip of it all, don't they, really?
Yeah.
What about Xavi always getting... He gets knocked off the ball so easy, doesn't he? Is he going to turn into another Gill, do you reckon?
Sorry?
Is he going to turn into another Brian Gill?
Yeah, I hope not. The games just seem to pass him by. And he does seem like a bit part player. Like when he's playing, he doesn't get involved. Like, you want him to get on the ball and express himself, and there's probably a lot of reliability on him without Maddison and Kulusevski and people like that. So there's a lot of onus on him to take the game to the opponent and create stuff for us. But coming into a new league, it was a bit more physical to what he's used to, and he's not a big lad, is he? Do you know, he's quite a slight lad. So
that's what I was going to say. I think we're given our lack of creative players in midfield at the moment. We're looking to Xavi unfairly, in my opinion, to be able to take the game by the scruff of his neck. In his first season in the Premier League, which is far more physical than was he in the Eredivisie, right? He was
Leipzig, didn't he?
Oh, sorry, yeah. And I just think it's a little unfair. I mean, you look at Son when he first came over as well. He was super lightweight, and it just takes a little bit of time to build up that strength. And
Modric as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
He was stuck on the left wing for a bit, wasn't he? It wasn't until Redknapp came in. And
I think it's just circumstance at the moment that there's very few creative players. They're all young, right? They're all young, and they're all learning. So you look at Odegaard, Tell, Xavi. They're all super young legs. Kudus has just come in. Fair enough, he was at West Ham, but he's just come into Spurs trying to figure it out. We're missing Kulusevski, we're missing Madders, we're missing Solanke. So yeah, I think like Frank, I think Xavi needs to be given more time.
Yeah, I think so. If we just looking ahead for tomorrow, I've got a graphic for a probable lineup. Do you think this is going to be far off it for us? They've gone with Gray and Paulinho midfield, but
I would be surprised if Gray starts personally.
yeah. Who would you go? Would you go same formation like that 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, I think we need.
It'll
We
probably
need
be
we need
something
creative
entirely
players.
different again. Because every match it seems to be a different formation, doesn't it?
Yeah. Would you go away from the three at the back? So you mean if we say three at the back, he's going to bring Danso in, isn't he? So would you settle on the 4?
Yes, I think we need more players in the further up end of the pitch. Personally,
Yeah.
fair enough if you have a one defensive midfielder. Fair enough, but I don't
Yeah.
think you need Paulinho and Gray because they're both. There's no. The problem is the gap between the defensive midfield and the attacking midfield.
Yeah.
There's no link up play between them, and if you're expecting Simmons to drop and pick up the ball and create and spray passes around to Oliver and Kudos, I don't think he's going to do that.
He's not right. He's not in the right headspace to do that, is he? At the minute,
no. I mean, I think he would give it a go, but
yeah,
all it takes is one bad pass, or getting knocked off the ball by Henderson, for example.
yeah.
The crowd gets on his back, and his head's going to drop. I think.
Bergvall playing in there alongside Paulinho, would that be a realistic?
I would prefer Bergvall in there. I think he's got a bit more. His engine's really, really good, and I think he's quite happy to get up the pitch a bit more. And
Yeah.
I think his mindset is really good. He'll take a risk even if it means fans got on his back. He'll keep trying things.
Yeah.
And Archie Gray's really good defensively.
Yeah.
And I think Paulinho's really good defensively. But I just think we need a bit of an engine in the middle between the defense and the attacking midfielders to do that shuttle running.
So is that number 6 position, if we say it, is that nailed down with Paulinho, or is Archie Gray a realistic option at the minute?
I think in time, not now. I think Paulinho's experience probably trumps Gray.
Yeah.
Although I mean they've got Ouattara. And, Damsgaard is a really good creative player. So
Shade's having a good season as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
the 80s.
Brentford aren't a bad side by any stretch. No. They're gonna really give us a game tomorrow.
Yeah. And what about the attacking players, Kerry? What would you? I know that graphic has got kind of the 3 and in behind Richarlison. Would you say it's going to be far off that, or is there any kind of changes from that you would make?
No, that looks about what we can expect, really, due to our lack of players, really, isn't it? Do you think Tell will get a game this time?
I don't know. I thought he was going to get a lot more football than he has done.
Yeah.
But especially, we signed him on a permanent. How much input Frank had on that, I don't know. Whether that was another kind of one of these club signings. But he does seem to like Odegaard, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
plays a lot.
I think, didn't Tell contribute to both of those goals against Newcastle, I think, did they say?
He wasn't given the assist, I don't think, but he may have been involved in the build-up play for sure.
Yeah, I think he was. I like Tell's attitude as well.
Would you play him off left?
Yes.
Instead of Odegaard?
Yeah, but like you say, he does keep picking Odegaard, doesn't he?
Yeah. So on the other side then, so Kudus, Jimmy, is he a shoe-in? Is he going to play, or is Johnson a realistic option?
No, I think Kudus seems to be the shoe-in, doesn't he? But he just annoys me by holding on to the ball, just that one extra kick when he should be releasing it.
Yeah.
And he just holds it on because it's clear he likes to dribble with it. And I think now other players have caught on to, he's going to hold on to the ball for too long. So they just crowd him out. So he loses possession quite a bit now. But then sometimes when I've seen him with like 3 players around him, he still manages to get out of the situation somehow.
Yeah.
But so he gets out of the difficult bit, but then when you think, right, now pass it, and he doesn't, he keeps onto it just too long.
Yeah. Okay. So we look at the table. There we are, sitting nice and comfortably in 11th. 19 points from 14 games. Are we looking up or are we looking down?
At the minute, I think we're looking down.
Yeah, it's tight there, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go down as far as you can see on the graphic. You go down as far as Fulham on 17 points in 15th.
Yeah, well, we're closer to 15th than we are to 9th.
Yeah, to 9th.
See, this is why Frank really annoyed me in that press conference when he said, "Don't forget we finished 17th last season." I couldn't believe he came out.
I mean,
with that.
if he thinks that finishing 16th is an improvement, I mean, in terms of league position, yes, it is. But he needs to realise that is not acceptable.
It can be.
No, I mean, I think even mid-table is unacceptable. I mean, we might get accused of being
to get Europe again, surely.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We might be being accused of, entitlement, and nobody deserves top 4. And I don't think that we should be aiming for. But we should be aiming for top 4, obviously, but not this season. No. I think if we get European spots, then I think that's an improvement and something we can build on. But if he's sitting at mid-table thinking, "Oh, I'm doing all right here," then he's not, and he'll be told pretty quickly.
Do you think that is part of the problem then with Frank, the way he's kind of the whole setup, like the structure of the team, his mentality, saying, "Look, we finished 17th last season. That is the starting point," where that is filtering through to the players. You mean we're not partial to his team talks and things like that, but do you think that is the message that's coming across?
So yeah, I mean, I was really concerned with how we played and approached our game against Arsenal.
Yeah,
we approached it with a really defensive mindset and a really defensive formation, and we just invited pressure on.
Yeah,
and we didn't have a go at them.
No.
And I don't know, obviously, but I'm wondering if the Brentford mindset entered his psyche. Did he think, right, let's take an approach I would take at Brentford and just try and string out a draw, or maybe if we get lucky, we might sneak one.
Yeah.
But that, again, to Spurs fans, isn't acceptable. I think if you asked the majority of Spurs fans, we would rather go and play an Ange style and lose 4-0 and have a go at them, have a few tackles, have a few shots, and try and swashbuckle and that kind of stuff, than do what we did under Frank.
Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? Like he's come across from Brentford. Do you know what I mean? No disrespect to Brentford, but a smaller team, smaller history, with less expectation, but a good football club. But he's bought a lot of his coaching staff as well. Now I'm just wondering how difficult it is for that whole team, that group of staff, to completely shift their mindset from being kind of like the underdog, where their backs are against the wall, everything's against them, staying up is the ultimate. You mean the trophy at the end of the season, to coming into a club like Tottenham where the expectation or hope is to sneak top 4 and win a trophy, where it's a complete. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how difficult that is to kind of switch that mentality.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, because it's always Frank that seems to be asking their opinions, isn't it, during the match and stuff. He's really stuck into deep conversations with them. So yeah, if they're in the mindset and they're the ones that are advising him.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? I mean, you've raised the point, but what do you think?
I think there's bound to be an overlap or a hangover from it. Absolutely. I think it'd be very, very difficult. Do you know what I mean? There'll be where the staff and that will have like a sense of belonging. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like one of the biggest jobs they've had. You say like Justin Cocker, and he's worked with England and things like that. And we've got the set piece coaches coming from Man United or somewhere, and he was at Brentford before and things like that. So they've worked in bigger groups. Big expectation groups. But I personally think it's something that would be difficult to bring across, and to have that complete flip. And like you said there, you touched on the Arsenal game, where going into that kind of Brentford setup, if you like, with 3, because he did say to lead up to that game that whenever we went there with Brentford, we went there with 3 at the back. And before that, we'd played 4. And then in that game, he goes to the 3. So it shows almost like he's got that mentality of they're better than us. If we try to match them, they'll do us. So we'll try to stick in with it for an hour and then try to sneak one and kind of come away that way, or not, or going into the game not to be embarrassed. I don't know.
Yeah. But, if we'd got a result, then fair enough. But
he
didn't, and he didn't even look like he was
going to
remotely get one. Yeah.
No. But right, so what we'll do is we'll start to wrap it up. But predictions for tomorrow, you stick a score on it.
Go on, Carrie, you can go first.
Ladies first.
I don't know. I honestly can't see us getting a win, and I just think this could be. Is this the end of Frank tomorrow if he doesn't win? Not.
Oh, there's a question. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
The only thing that not meaning to go away from the score prediction, but the only thing that worries me is that Frank was a Levy appointment. I don't know how much input
Will see.
They all had on that, like the Vinay and people like that.
He spoke very positively about Frank, and if you see the conversations that Paratici and Langer, they had, and like I said, Vinay, they all spoke really positively about Frank, and I think they see the future.
Are they going to say any different?
So I suppose not. If you're going to play devil's advocate,
well, we're not too sure on the manager. Exactly. And will he put those magnets belong on the fridge, not on the pretty? Do you know what I mean? I always get. I don't know. It's like when the chairman comes out and says, "No, we've got full faith in our manager," as they go and get Dick 3-0 and also
get rid of him.
Yeah,
I think he'll be given more time. I think he'll be given more time.
Well, and I think Paratici coming in as well. He's obviously come in since the season started. I think he's going to have a big input. Because he does like people like Conte and stuff, doesn't he? The Italian kind of manager. But
how many more times are we going to say next window he'll get the right players and that kind of stuff? If we can't keep doing it, I'll go. Oh God, I'll go 2-1. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I think we'll get a win.
You think we'll win 2-1?
I think we'll get a win. Yeah.
Go on, Kerry. You've ducked it long enough.
I think 1-1. I just can't see us winning at home.
No, I was going to say a score draw actually, whether it be 1 or 2, but
yeah.
I think like Jamie said, I think we could win a very unpretty 2-1 or something like that. But it's not going to be the performance we're all kind of hoping. I can see it being a bit of a messy game. I think Brentford would make it difficult. I mean, for tomorrow, more than any game in recent history, really, the first 10-15 minutes are crucial. If we touch wood, if we go 1-0 down after 10 minutes, that place could turn into
could be really unpleasant. Yeah,
very uncomfortable.
And not just if we go 1-0 down, but if we just sit back and don't offer anything going forward. If we're just really placid, then again it can get. I can't see it being long before the boos start.
No. Okay. All right. Well, thanks both of you. Good to see you both. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Kerry.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Good.
That's all right. Try to keep the faith.
We'll try, won't we?
Yeah, we'll see on Saturday at 5:30 what happens.
You've both still got hair. You're hanging on to it, so it can't be that bad. Maybe Kerry, not.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, mate.
That's not wearing a hat.
Right. See you later.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Come on.
There you go. The ever positive Jamie and Kerry. Thank you very much to both of them for joining us for the last almost an hour now on When the Cockerel Crows. Thank you very much. If you've been watching, this stream will go up as a video on YouTube. So if you have missed any of it, you can go back on and watch it. Big game coming up tomorrow on Saturday, 3:00 kickoff UK time. Tottenham at home to Brentford. It's a must-win, isn't it? Sure, you said this last week against Fulham, but I think it really, really is a must-win game. Anyway, we are on Facebook. Look us up, When the Cockerel Crows, and also we're going out on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and stuff like that. There's loads of videos on there. There's a video on there with we've done like videos over the last few weeks. Roy Rayland, the Tottenham kit manager for 29 years, very kindly joined us a couple of weeks ago, and there was a very, very good video on there where Roy gives us some great insight into what it's like working behind the scenes at Tottenham Football Club. And I think he worked under 17 or 18 different managers, and he spoke about quite a few of them, people like Glenn Hoddle, Terry Venables, and people like that, some of the biggest names in this great club's history. If you want to get involved and get onto the live shows, then please email us, which is whenthecockerelcrows@gmail.com, whenthecockerelcrows@gmail.com. I'll send you an email out each week, and it will contain a link which can bring you onto our live studio. You won't come on straight away. It will just put you in the background and you can get involved. So, thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening, wherever you are around the world, and enjoy the game tomorrow. There's only going to be one outcome, isn't there? Up the Spurs.